Hi, I'm Jaime Kernigan, Small Group Specialist with Adult Discipleship at Resurrection.
And I'm Lydia Kim. I'm one of the pastors of Connection and Care here at Church of the Resurrection.
And we're here to talk to you today just about a general idea of avoidance, more specifically experiential avoidance, which really is the idea that we tend to want to shy away from things that are uncomfortable or bring us out of our comfort zone, things that might scare us a little bit. And the idea that if we continue to do that in the long term, it also leads us away from things that we enjoy. So the idea is as we lean into things that make us uncomfortable, we can get past the anxiety, the fear, the unknown, and move into things that align with our values, like gaining connection. For example, if you were to join a small group, or if you were to come to worship, or if you were to take a class here at church. So as we're talking about this concept, Lydia, can you think of something that you embarked on that brought you some uncomfortable feelings or some anxiety that you were able to push through and do anyway?
Yeah, actually, I was thinking about coming to church for the first time. There was a lot of people, and I was a little bit nervous. I heard worship was really great here, and I knew that this was a place where God was working because I could see it all over the city, but I was used to a church of 100 people versus a church of many more people. Mm-hmm. And so I remember the first time coming, and I was so nervous in the parking lot, and I was like, well, I'm already here, so I might as well get out of my car and go to service. And I remember the first thing that happened was I had to take a couple deep breaths and kind of calm my spirit down. And then when I got out of the car, I was greeted right away. The ushers introduced themselves and welcomed me so kindly, and I met so many new people. And by the time I had left worship, and even during worship, all the anxiety and the fear that I had of not belonging kind of were already gone, because I just felt like this was a really comfortable place to worship. And I walked away, and I became a member really quickly after that. So
that's a great example. I love that. And just talking through the steps you took to kind of push through that anxiety and that fear and do something anyway. And I think especially after a 2.5-year pandemic, we struggle more with that than we ever have potentially. And just being able to kind of lean into those feelings helps us to get through them and do things that align with our values. I'm guessing as a pastor here, Lydia, your faith is really important to you. And so leaning into those values and take that chance of that experience really changed you, sounds like.
Yeah, and I think that as we are going through something new and different, and your feelings will change each and every time. So the first time maybe you did it, but there can be fear, did I come across the wrong way? But I think the value that I held, that faith was important, building community and connection and relationships was important. That's the reason why I kept pushing forward, because the uncomfortable feelings, they only last for a little bit, but the connection and stuff is something lifelong that I can carry with me. And so pushing through that actually means that I get to be a part of something bigger, and there's more value and meaning at the end of it. And so it's not easy all the time, but I think recognizing our uncomfortable feelings is super important, because that allows us to push forward through them.
Absolutely. So we hope this information was valuable to you, and we just hope to invite you to consider, for example, leaning into joining a small group, and how you might feel some anxiety or some discomfort, and you would not be the only one that would experience that. And we just want to invite you to embrace that, to lean into that, to think about how that aligns with your values, wanting connection, wanting growth, wanting to deepen your faith in that way. And I think Lydia can speak to even pastors struggle with that at times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was part of a small group over the past year, and I know that there were times where I was uncomfortable because it's brand new. And I think that's okay, that everybody is going to be feeling some feelings that are uncomfortable, that can't be avoided. But I think sticking it through will help you to be able to gain those things that are really meaningful to you: connection, spiritual growth, just walking deeper into your faith. So I say keep going, you're doing great.
Thank you so much, Lydia, for joining us, and we'll see you soon.